8 Clever Ways to Deal with Toxic People. Stoic Philosophy. If you're dealing with toxic people, it might feel like they're the sole reason for the chaos and negativity in your life. But here's the truth. It's not just about them. It's about the power we unintentionally give them by allowing their behavior to disrupt our peace. This isn't about blaming yourself for their actions, but recognizing the control you have to reshape these dynamics. Toxic people don't magically appear. They thrive on weak boundaries and our emotional responses. In today's fast-paced world, many of us let them linger, either out of fear of confrontation or the habit of tolerating their behavior. But here's the empowering truth. While you can't change who they are, you can absolutely change how you respond to them. In this video, I'll share 8 clever strategies rooted in Stoic philosophy to help you handle toxic individuals, protect your energy, and take back your peace, because your inner calm has always been within your control. Welcome to Stoic in Your Life. Number 1. Forgive but don't forget. Forgiveness is one of the greatest acts of strength and wisdom, a deliberate choice to free your mind and heart from the grip of resentment. It doesn't mean condoning toxic behavior or ignoring the pain caused, but rather liberating yourself from the emotional burden that holds you back. As Epictetus wisely said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Forgiveness allows you to reclaim your peace and prioritize your well-being, ensuring that others' wrongdoings don't dictate your emotional state. It is not an act of excusing someone, nor an invitation for them to return and repeat their actions. Instead, it is a boundary built with lessons learned, your safeguard against future harm. Forgiveness requires courage and clarity. Letting go of anger and resentment might feel like surrendering power, but in truth, it's a form of reclaiming control. As Marcus Aurelius reminded us, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Forgiveness redirects the energy wasted on bitterness toward building a healthier and more fulfilling life. It allows you to heal, but it does not demand forgetting. Forgetting the harm done can lead to repeated mistakes. Like a scar, forgiveness keeps the memory of the lesson without reopening the wound. This balance of forgiving but not forgetting reflects the rational and resilient mindset championed by modern Stoicism. In today's world, where encounters with toxic people are often unavoidable, forgiveness is more vital than ever. Whether in personal or professional relationships, toxicity can infiltrate your life in ways you can't control, but you can always control your response. Forgiving doesn't mean tolerating harmful behavior or giving others endless chances. It's about protecting your peace without letting their actions dictate your future. By choosing forgiveness, you refuse to let toxic individuals occupy space in your mind, empowering you to live with clarity and resolve. Modern Stoicism teaches that resilience and rationality are the pillars of navigating life's challenges. Forgiveness embodies these principles by allowing you to rise above destructive emotions like anger or revenge. As Seneca noted, "He who is offended when he is wronged has not learned a great deal." By forgiving, you shift your focus from the pain inflicted on you to the growth and wisdom that pain has brought. This is not weakness, but a declaration of strength. Your peace and future are far too valuable to be sacrificed for lingering resentment. Forgiveness is a gift you give yourself. It's a decision to free yourself from the chains of bitterness and create room for peace and clarity to flourish. It doesn't erase the past, but ensures that the past no longer controls you. Forgiveness empowers you to move forward with wisdom, resilience, and strength, embodying the essence of modern Stoicism, to live with rationality and emotional balance, safeguarding the serenity of your mind and heart. Number 2. Limit access to your life. One of the most transformative Stoic secrets for dealing with toxic people lies in learning to limit their access to your life. It's not easy, especially when the person is a close friend, family member, or colleague, but it's vital for protecting your peace. Think about it. Not everyone deserves a front-row seat to your energy and emotions. If someone constantly drains your spirit, disrespects your boundaries, or fills your world with negativity, it's time to reassess the role they play in your life. This is a decision rooted not in cruelty, but in self-respect and the pursuit of a life free from unnecessary chaos. It requires courage, yes, but it's a small price to pay for the clarity and calm you'll gain. I remember a time when I was the quintessential people pleaser. If someone needed my time, I'd give it unconditionally, even at the expense of my own well-being. I'd sit on the phone for hours with a friend who treated me like their personal therapist, offering endless support while my own challenges went unacknowledged. Or I'd bend over backward for people who wouldn't lift a finger for me in return. One day, after yet another draining conversation with someone whose only contribution to the dialogue was their endless list of complaints, it hit me. I was running on empty because I kept giving away too much of myself to people who didn't deserve it. That realization changed everything. I didn't need to cut ties entirely, but I did need to redefine how much access I allowed certain people to have. The key to limiting access isn't about creating dramatic confrontations or burning bridges. It's about subtly shifting the dynamic to prioritize your well-being. For instance, when faced with someone who constantly unloads their problems on you, try redirecting the conversation. Instead of endlessly offering solutions or sympathy, respond with something like, "That sounds tough. What do you think you'll do about it?" You'll notice how quickly they lose interest when you stop feeding their negativity. Or take the example of a critical family member. Rather than arguing or justifying your choices, simply nod, smile, and keep your plans to yourself. When you stop oversharing, their disapproval holds no power over you. These small, intentional changes send a powerful message. Your time and energy are valuable, and they're no longer up for grabs. Let me share a story that brings this to life. A friend of mine, Sarah, used to dread weekly coffee dates with a coworker, Lisa. Lisa was the kind of person who thrived on drama, constantly complaining about her job, her relationships, and even minor inconveniences. Every coffee date left Sarah feeling drained, as if Lisa's negativity had latched onto her like a weight. After months of this, Sarah finally decided to reclaim her peace. She didn't confront Lisa outright. Instead, she started rescheduling their meetups, shortening their conversations, and subtly shifting the focus when Lisa launched into another rant. "That sounds rough," Sarah would say, "but how do you think you'll handle it?" Over time, Lisa got the message. She stopped seeking Sarah out for emotional venting sessions, and Sarah was able to redirect her energy to friends who brought positivity and balance into her life. This principle, limiting access, aligns beautifully with Stoic philosophy, which teaches us to focus on what we can control and let go of what we cannot. You can't control someone else's behavior, but you can decide how much of it you're willing to let into your world. Ask yourself, who in your life consistently drains your energy? How can you create boundaries that protect your peace without creating unnecessary conflict? Reflecting on these questions will guide you toward reclaiming the space you need to thrive. Here's the ultimate takeaway. Your time and emotional energy are precious resources, and they deserve to be guarded fiercely. Not everyone earns the right to your attention, and that's okay. By limiting access to toxic individuals, you open the door to deeper, more fulfilling connections with people who uplift and inspire you. So take a moment today to reassess your relationships. Number 3, use humor to disarm them. Humor is an often underrated but incredibly effective tool for managing toxic people. It offers a way to rise above negativity without confrontation or defensiveness, turning tension into an opportunity to disarm and diffuse the situation. Toxic individuals thrive on provoking reactions. They aim to control your emotions and undermine your confidence. Yet, by choosing humor, you flip the script. Humor, especially when used with clever, light-hearted wit, strips their words of power and leaves them disarmed. It's a form of emotional aikido, redirecting their energy and rendering their efforts ineffective. Marcus Aurelius, one of the great Stoic philosophers, aptly said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Humor embodies this wisdom by showing mastery over your reactions and refusing to let external negativity influence your state of mind. A personal example illustrates this beautifully. I once worked with a colleague known for their relentless critiques, from outfits to coffee-drinking habits. One day, they targeted my messy desk in front of coworkers, saying, "Wow, your desk looks like a tornado hit it. How do you even find anything?" Instead of reacting defensively or feeling embarrassed, I smiled and replied, "You're absolutely right. This is my creative chaos. Einstein's desk was messier than this, so clearly I'm on the path to brilliance." The room erupted in laughter, and the critic's attempt to humiliate me fell flat. Humor shifted the power dynamic, making their negativity look ridiculous and ineffective. After that, they never commented on my desk again. This story highlights humor's ability to neutralize conflict and undermine someone's power to manipulate your emotions. When you respond to toxic behavior with humor, you show resilience and emotional strength, proving their attempts to provoke you are futile. This subtle power shift can frustrate toxic individuals who rely on eliciting negative responses. However, it's essential to use humor wisely. Your tone should be gentle and lighthearted, avoiding sarcasm or hostility that could escalate tensions. The goal is to expose their pettiness without stooping to their level. As Epictetus wisely observed, "It's not what happens to you but how you react to it that matters." This approach aligns perfectly with the principles of Stoic philosophy, emphasizing control over your inner world rather than external events. In today's fast-paced world, where toxic behavior is prevalent in workplaces, family dynamics, and online interactions, humor becomes a shield for your emotional well-being. Imagine a colleague harshly criticizing your presentation. Instead of retreating into defensiveness, a witty response like, "You're right. It's not perfect, but think of it as a masterpiece in progress," can diffuse tension and even lighten the mood. Similarly, in family situations, humor bridges gaps and reduces friction. A playful comment to deflect a passive-aggressive remark can transform a heated moment into one of shared laughter. In the digital realm, where trolls and negativity abound, humor can neutralize toxic comments. A clever reply renders their attacks meaningless and shows others that such negativity doesn't faze you. Modern Stoicism offers a framework for this strategy, teaching us to focus on what we can control, our responses. By choosing humor, you demonstrate that while others' actions are beyond your control, your reaction remains entirely your own. This mindset not only protects your peace of mind, but also reinforces self-assurance and emotional resilience in a chaotic world. Humor isn't just a tactic for dealing with difficult people, it's a way of viewing life through a lens of levity and strength. It helps you approach challenges with a broader perspective, conserving your energy and maintaining your dignity. Over time, you'll find that it's not about winning or losing interactions, but about standing firm in your values and refusing to let negativity define you. As Seneca, another great Stoic thinker, wrote, "It is the power of the mind to be unconquerable." Humor embodies this idea, helping you rise above external negativity with grace and wit. In doing so, you show not only to others, but to yourself that you are the master of your emotions, living a life of inner strength and resilience. Have you ever forgiven someone but made sure not to forget the lesson? Comment, "Yes," if you believe in this balance, or "No," if you feel forgiveness should mean moving on completely. And don't miss the ending of this video. We've saved the most surprising and valuable tip for last. Number 4. Know when to walk away. Knowing when to walk away from a toxic person is one of the most empowering decisions you can make to preserve your well-being. It's not about abandoning someone or showing weakness, but about recognizing when a relationship no longer serves you and prioritizing your peace of mind. Walking away doesn't always mean severing ties completely. It can involve reducing contact, setting boundaries, or emotionally distancing yourself. As Epictetus wisely said, keep your attention focused entirely on what is truly your own concern, and be clear that what belongs to others is their business and none of yours. This insight frees you from the guilt of stepping back and allows you to focus on relationships that are mutually supportive and nourishing. I once had a friend who seemed charming and fun but privately drained my energy. Every conversation became a competition about whose struggles were worse. If I opened up about a challenge, they would quickly dismiss it with their own tale of hardship. The breaking point came during a personal crisis when I sought their support, and their response was, "That sounds rough, but I'm dealing with my own stuff right now." This wasn't malice, it was indifference. Walking away from this friendship was difficult, but it lifted a massive emotional burden. Modern Stoicism teaches us to conserve our emotional energy and invest it wisely, reminding us that relationships should help us grow, not exhaust us. Walking away takes courage and clarity, particularly when society often equates loyalty with tolerating unhealthy connections. However, choosing to leave a toxic relationship is an act of self-respect. Setting boundaries or reducing contact doesn't mean you're being cold or uncaring. It means you're protecting your mental health. Toxic people may accuse you of being distant, but their reaction reflects the imbalance of the relationship. As Seneca said, associate with those who will make a better man of you. Welcome those whom you yourself can improve. This wisdom reminds us to surround ourselves with people who encourage growth, not those who stifle it. In today's hyper-connected world, walking away can feel especially hard. Social media often keeps us tied to relationships that no longer serve us. Modern Stoicism offers a solution by focusing on what we can control, our reactions and priorities, while letting go of what we cannot, like another person's behavior. Cutting ties with a toxic individual doesn't mean wishing them harm, but recognizing that their presence hinders your growth. By stepping away, you create space for both yourself and the other person to grow independently. While your action might inspire change in them, your primary goal should always be protecting your peace and well-being. If completely walking away feels too overwhelming, start with smaller steps. Limit the time and energy spent with the toxic person, or interact only in settings where their behavior affects you less, such as group gatherings instead of one-on-one encounters. Clearly communicate your boundaries without engaging in long arguments that feed the toxicity. For example, you might say, "I'd prefer not to discuss this right now," or, "I need to focus on my own well-being." Protecting your peace is not rejection. It's affirming your value and refusing to allow negativity to dictate your emotions. Walking away from a toxic relationship is not about defeat, but liberation. It allows you to honor your emotional health and make room for relationships that bring positivity and balance into your life. Though uncomfortable at first, the long-term rewards of inner peace, clarity, and self-respect far outweigh the temporary discomfort. As Marcus Aurelius said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." By stepping away from toxicity, you create the space to cultivate thoughts and relationships that truly enrich your life. Number 5. Surround yourself with uplifting people. One of the most transformative Stoic secrets for dealing with toxic people lies in the simple yet profound act of choosing wisely who you allow into your life. The people we surround ourselves with have an undeniable influence on our thoughts, emotions, and ultimately, the course of our personal growth. If you spend too much time with individuals who thrive on negativity, fuel drama, or constantly burden you with complaints, your inner peace and emotional energy will quickly erode. Toxicity has a way of seeping into your mindset, making it harder to focus on the good and stifling your progress toward a meaningful life. On the other hand, surrounding yourself with uplifting individuals, those who inspire you, support your journey, and celebrate your achievements, creates a fertile environment for personal growth and emotional well-being. These are the people who remind you of your potential, push you to strive for more, and provide the strength you need to overcome life's challenges. Let me illustrate this with a simple story. Jacob was a hard-working man with big dreams, but he felt stuck. His workplace was filled with colleagues who loved to gossip, complain, and focus on everything that was wrong in their lives. Slowly, Jacob noticed their attitudes affecting him. His motivation waned, and he began doubting his own abilities. But one day he decided to take control of his situation. He didn't cut these people out entirely. That wasn't realistic or necessary. But he started intentionally spending more time with friends and mentors who exuded positivity and pursued meaningful goals. These were people who lifted him up, encouraged his strengths, and challenged him to think bigger. The shift in his life was profound. As Jacob's social environment improved, so did his outlook on life. He rediscovered his sense of purpose, tackled challenges with renewed energy, and even found joy in the small victories that once seemed insignificant. Jacob's story is proof of the power that comes from curating your relationships with care. The people who uplift us aren't just there to cheer us on. They play a much deeper role. They hold us accountable when we stray from our values, challenge us to grow, and inspire us to see beyond the immediate difficulties in front of us. Their presence encourages us to focus on what truly matters, instead of getting caught up in the noise of negativity. The Stoics understood this principle well. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." In other words, the environment you choose to immerse yourself in will inevitably shape your mindset. When you surround yourself with people who embody positivity, wisdom, and strength, you naturally begin to reflect those qualities in yourself. Take a moment to reflect on this. Who in your life uplifts you and who weighs you down? This isn't a question of judgment, but one of discernment. Your emotional energy is a limited resource. How you spend it will determine the quality of your life. This doesn't mean you should completely cut off everyone who struggles with negativity. Life isn't black and white, and even the most uplifting people have moments of doubt or hardship. However, the key lies in prioritizing where you invest your time and energy. When you cultivate relationships that bring out the best in you, you naturally leave less space for relationships that pull you down. Over time, this conscious choice creates a ripple effect. You'll notice a shift in your own mindset. You'll think more positively, face challenges with clarity, and feel a profound sense of lightness as the weight of toxic interactions begins to lift. Your life will no longer feel like a constant effort to endure negativity, but will become a deliberate journey toward joy, fulfillment, and personal growth. What's the takeaway? Be intentional about the company you keep. Seek out people who celebrate your successes without jealousy, offer constructive feedback without malice, and motivate you to keep pushing forward when the path gets tough. Much like you carefully choose the food you eat for your physical health, you should curate your relationships for your emotional and mental well-being. Your energy is your most precious resource, and spending it on the right people can make all the difference. As Epictetus wisely said, the key is to keep company only with people who uplift you, whose presence calls forth your best. Let this philosophy guide your relationships. The simple act of choosing to surround yourself with uplifting, supportive people is one of the most powerful tools you have to counteract the influence of toxic individuals. When you embrace this Stoic secret, you'll discover a life filled with clarity, resilience, and a deep, unshakable inner peace. Number 6. Refuse to engage in their games. Toxic people thrive on creating chaos, drama, and manipulation, seeking reactions to fuel their sense of control. They often employ tactics like passive-aggressive comments, guilt trips, or provocative behavior to bait you into an argument or emotional conflict. However, the key to disarming their influence lies in one simple strategy: refuse to engage. By not giving them the reaction they crave, you strip away their power over you, preserving your peace and emotional well-being. This requires a heightened sense of awareness and self-discipline, but once mastered, it becomes an invaluable tool for navigating such challenging interactions. Marcus Aurelius, a pillar of Stoic philosophy, wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Recognizing this truth helps you to focus on your response rather than their behavior, which is often designed to provoke. The first step in disengaging from toxic games is to recognize the bait when it comes your way. This bait often takes the form of sarcastic remarks, subtle jabs, or guilt-inducing comments that make you feel the need to defend yourself. For example, if someone says, "I guess you're too busy to care about anyone but yourself," it's a clear attempt to manipulate your emotions. In these moments, it's crucial to pause and remind yourself that their words reflect their insecurities and manipulative tendencies, not your worth. Remaining calm and neutral, instead of reacting defensively, allows you to rise above the negativity. Instead of being pulled into an argument, a simple response such as, "That's your perspective," or even silence, can diffuse the situation without escalating it. Another essential step is setting clear boundaries, which is a form of self-respect and emotional protection. Boundaries send a message that you will not tolerate toxic behavior and ensure that you remain in control of your emotional energy. For instance, if a conversation begins to spiral into conflict, you can calmly state, "I don't feel this conversation is productive. Let's revisit it when we can both approach it calmly." Statements like this not only shield you from unnecessary drama, but also signal to the other person that their tactics won't succeed. Toxic individuals may accuse you of being distant or unkind when you enforce boundaries, but in reality, you are choosing to prioritize your mental health over their manipulations. Refusing to engage doesn't mean you're being passive or avoiding the issue. On the contrary, it's an active and intentional choice to protect your emotional energy and rise above the chaos. Silence, often perceived as weakness, can be one of your most powerful tools. By staying calm and composed, you communicate that their attempts to provoke you have no hold over your emotions. This approach aligns with the Stoic principle of maintaining control over what is within your power, your reactions and emotions, while letting go of what lies beyond it, such as another person's behavior. Modern life often confronts us with situations where toxic people seem unavoidable, whether in personal relationships, at work, or even in casual social interactions. Modern Stoicism, with its timeless wisdom, teaches us that we can navigate these challenges without losing our inner peace. Practicing detachment and refusing to be drawn into negativity doesn't just help us manage difficult relationships, it also enhances our overall resilience. Seneca reminds us, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, who is poor." Toxic individuals often crave control, attention, or drama to fill an inner void. By refusing to play their game, you deny them the fuel they seek while safeguarding your mental clarity. This process takes practice, especially if you've spent years feeling compelled to react or defend yourself. However, over time, you'll find it easier to stay grounded and composed. Each time you refuse to engage, you reinforce your ability to prioritize your peace over someone else's chaos. It's not about being cold or indifferent. It's about being strategic and valuing your emotional energy. Toxic people may not change, but your ability to manage their behavior will transform your experience of these interactions. By standing firm, setting boundaries, and refusing to participate in their games, you not only protect yourself, but also model a healthier way of engaging with others. In doing so, you embody the essence of modern Stoicism, maintaining strength, composure, and peace in a world that often seeks to disrupt it. What are your thoughts on knowing when to leave a toxic relationship? Which of these would you start with? Leaving is a sign of dignity, not weakness. Or boundaries are essential for peace. Or you are allowed to choose yourself first. Let me know which one resonates with you the most. Also, be sure to watch the video to the end. We've go. Number 7. Stay focused on your purpose. Toxic people thrive on distraction, often pulling others into their negativity or drama to shift the focus away from meaningful pursuits. If you allow their behaviors to derail your objectives, you hand over control of your life to their chaos. That's why staying focused on your purpose is one of the most effective ways to neutralize their influence and protect your emotional energy. When you are deeply connected to your purpose, it becomes your anchor, a guiding force that keeps you grounded and resilient, no matter how turbulent the external environment becomes. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." By aligning your attention with what truly matters to you, the negative energy of toxic individuals becomes irrelevant. The first step in staying focused is to clearly define your purpose and priorities. What are your long-term goals? What kind of person do you want to be? Whether in your career, relationships, or personal growth, having a clear vision of your aspirations gives you a foundation to build upon. Toxic people often distract others with their demands for attention, criticism, or unwarranted negativity. But when your goals are crystal clear, their power to interfere diminishes. Think of your purpose as a compass. No matter how far the needle wavers, it always points you back to true north. This clarity enables you to discern what's worth your energy and what's simply a distraction. Discipline is another essential component of maintaining focus in the face of toxicity. Break your larger goals into smaller, manageable steps and celebrate each achievement along the way. This not only builds momentum, but also serves as a reminder of why you started in the first place. Toxic individuals often seek to overwhelm or frustrate others, but by focusing on small, incremental victories, you maintain a sense of progress that can't be easily disrupted. Seneca's timeless advice reinforces this. If a man knows not to which port he sails, no wind is favorable. By setting clear objectives, you ensure that your efforts are directed toward what genuinely matters, rendering distractions powerless. In the fast-paced modern world where it's easy to be sidetracked by negativity, whether from toxic relationships, social media, or workplace dynamics, modern Stoicism offers a practical framework for navigating these challenges. It teaches us to prioritize what is within our control, our focus, our actions, and our goals. When you feel overwhelmed by a toxic individual, pause and remind yourself of your purpose. Ask, how does engaging with this person serve my long-term goals? Often the answer will make it clear that disengagement is not avoidance, but an affirmation of your priorities. By focusing on your growth and development, you create an environment where toxicity cannot thrive. When you're busy working on your goals, building relationships that uplift you, and creating a life aligned with your purpose, there simply isn't time or energy left to waste on negativity. Over time, you'll notice that toxic people begin to lose their grip on your attention because your priorities leave no room for their influence. The discipline of staying on track not only protects you from external disruptions, but also strengthens your inner resolve, making you more resilient in the face of future challenges. Your purpose is uniquely yours, and no one should have the power to take it away from you. When you commit to staying focused, toxic individuals are forced to adjust to your boundaries, or they naturally fade into the background of your life. As modern Stoicism emphasizes, staying true to your values and goals is the key to living a meaningful, grounded life. Let your purpose be the force that drives you forward, ensuring that negativity cannot derail your journey toward fulfillment and success. In the words of Epictetus, first say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. Number 8. Avoid gossiping about them. One of the most empowering Stoic secrets for dealing with toxic people is to avoid gossiping about them, even when it feels tempting or justified. Gossip might seem like a harmless way to vent your frustration, or even a way to regain a sense of control over the situation. But in reality, it only deepens their grip on your thoughts and emotions. When you gossip, you are not just talking about them. You're reliving the pain they've caused you and allowing their negativity to occupy valuable space in your mind. Have you ever noticed how gossip often leaves you feeling worse, not better? That's because it drags you deeper into the toxic cycle you're trying to escape. Gossip is like feeding a fire. It grows bigger the more attention you give it. By engaging in this behavior, you not only prolong your emotional distress, but also risk becoming part of the very toxicity you despise. Instead of letting their actions define your conversations, shift the focus back to your own well-being. This is not about ignoring your feelings or suppressing your frustration. It's about finding healthier ways to process those emotions without letting them consume you. Take, for example, Sarah, a young professional who found herself stuck in a toxic work environment. Her manager was manipulative and often pitted employees against one another. At first, Sarah vented her anger by gossiping about her manager with coworkers, hoping it would ease her frustration. But over time, she realized that these conversations only fueled her resentment and made her feel even more powerless. One day, she decided to stop. Instead of gossiping, she began journaling about her experiences and speaking to a trusted friend outside of work who could offer constructive advice. This shift allowed Sarah to process her emotions in a healthy way, without giving her toxic manager any more control over her thoughts or energy. She even started steering workplace conversations away from negativity, encouraging her coworkers to focus on their shared goals instead. Not only did this change help Sarah regain her sense of peace, but it also inspired her colleagues to rise above the toxicity. The Stoics remind us that true power lies in controlling our responses, not in reacting impulsively. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Gossip is an impulsive reaction to hurt, but rising above it is an act of wisdom and self-discipline. When faced with gossip, ask yourself, what am I gaining by reliving this negativity? How does this help me grow or heal? Choosing not to engage in gossip isn't about ignoring the harm toxic people may have caused. It's about refusing to let their actions dictate your emotional state. By redirecting your energy toward more meaningful pursuits, you reclaim the power they might have taken from you. When others around you start gossiping about someone toxic, use it as an opportunity to lead by example. Gently steer the conversation toward something positive or constructive. You might ask, what's something good that happened today? Or, how can we solve this issue together? This subtle shift not only helps you avoid negativity, but also encourages others to break free from the cycle of toxic chatter. You'll find that the more you focus on uplifting topics, the lighter and more peaceful your interactions become. Over time, people may even look to you as someone who brings positivity and perspective to difficult situations. The key lesson here is this: gossip doesn't solve problems. It keeps you stuck in them. By refusing to participate in gossip, you're making a powerful statement that your peace of mind matters more than rehashing someone else's negativity. You're not ignoring the issue, but instead choosing a path that prioritizes your emotional health and growth. Imagine how much lighter your mind would feel if you spent less time revisiting toxic people's actions and more time focusing on things that bring you joy and fulfillment. In the words of Epictetus, we should not be astonished that others have faults, but we should be astonished if we do not recognize our own. Gossip blinds us to our own power to rise above the situation. Breaking free from the cycle of gossip is an act of self-care and self-respect. It's a conscious choice to focus on what truly matters: your own mental clarity, peace, and ability to live a fulfilling life. Toxic people thrive when they occupy your thoughts and dictate your conversations, but you have the power to take that back. By channeling your energy toward healthier outlets and refusing to let negativity define you, you not only protect your emotional well-being, but also inspire others to do the same. Remember, avoiding gossip isn't about ignoring problems. It's about reclaiming your energy and directing it toward solutions and self-growth. When you embrace this Stoic secret, you'll find that toxic people lose their power over you, and your life becomes a reflection of your strength, wisdom, and unshakable inner peace. Are you committed to staying focused on your purpose and not letting toxic distractions derail you? Comment "I commit" if you're ready to take responsibility for your goals, or "I'm ready to take responsibility" if you're ready to cut out toxic influences from your life. Stay tuned until the end of the video, where we'll reveal 3 incredibly effective Stoic methods for dealing with toxic people that will leave you excited and surprised. 3 highly effective Stoic methods. Number 1. Focus on what you can control. At the heart of modern Stoicism lies a principle that is as liberating as it is simple. Focus on what you can control and let go of what you cannot. When dealing with toxic people, this wisdom becomes a shield against manipulation and emotional turbulence. Toxic individuals thrive on provoking reactions or entangling you in their negativity. But the truth is, their power exists only in your response. Epictetus reminds us, "It is not events that disturb us, but our judgments about them." The first step to reclaiming your peace is recognizing this. You cannot control the actions, words, or emotions of others, but you have complete authority over your own. By directing your energy inward, toward your responses, your values, and your focus, you strip toxic individuals of the control they seek. Instead of being pulled into their whirlwind of negativity, you can choose to remain calm, centered, and composed. This mindset is deeply tied to the Stoic concept of amor fati, or love of fate, which teaches us to accept the events of life, even those that challenge us, as necessary and beyond our dominion. Toxic people's behaviors are often rooted in their own struggles, insecurities, or emotional turmoil, none of which you can change. Accepting this truth not only frees you from the exhausting cycle of trying to fix them, but also fosters resilience. When someone hurls negativity your way, let their words pass through you like wind through an open door. This doesn't mean tolerating poor treatment, but rather refusing to let their energy disrupt your peace. As Marcus Aurelius put it, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Another critical aspect of this practice is choosing where to direct your energy. Time and mental space are finite resources, and engaging with toxicity drains both. Recognizing what is truly worth your attention allows you to respond with intention rather than reaction. For instance, if someone's manipulative behavior surfaces, you can calmly detach and evaluate how you wish to proceed without absorbing their negativity. Perhaps you decide the best course is setting boundaries or addressing the situation later when emotions have cooled. By deliberately choosing not to feed into the drama, you maintain control over your emotional state. This is a hallmark of modern Stoicism, acknowledging that true freedom lies in the choices you make within the confines of what you can control. Focusing on what you can control also means grounding yourself in your values. Toxic individuals often act in ways that are contrary to what you believe in, be it honesty, kindness, or respect. But rather than being drawn into their orbit, you can use their behavior as a mirror to reaffirm your principles. Their negativity is not a reflection of your worth. It is a test of your ability to hold true to your character. Seneca wrote, "He who suffers before it is necessary, suffers more than is necessary." Let this serve as a reminder not to preoccupy yourself with their actions, but instead to focus on maintaining your inner calm. When you practice this mindset consistently, their influence begins to fade, and you regain control of your narrative. By focusing only on what you can control, you free yourself from the chaos toxic people try to create. You'll find that their ability to affect you diminishes as you shift your perspective. Instead of being a victim of their manipulation, you become the architect of your responses, choosing how and when to engage, if at all. This practice isn't easy, especially in a world that often rewards immediate reactions and emotional outbursts. However, the rewards of staying composed are immense: peace, clarity, and a sense of empowerment. In the end, this is the gift of modern Stoicism, a philosophy that teaches us to find serenity in the face of life's most challenging interactions, not by controlling others, but by mastering ourselves. Number 2. Practice patience and silence. Patience and silence are profoundly effective tools for managing the challenges posed by toxic individuals, as they empower you to maintain control over your emotional state while avoiding unnecessary conflict. Toxic people often feed on emotional reactions, using them as fuel to draw you deeper into their negativity and drama. By staying calm and silent, you deprive them of the validation and energy they crave, effectively neutralizing their attempts to dominate the interaction. As Marcus Aurelius reminds us, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. This timeless Stoic principle highlights that, while you cannot dictate how others behave, you hold full authority over how you choose to respond. Practicing patience offers you the mental space to process your emotions before reacting. It's all too easy to let frustration or anger dictate your actions, especially when someone is actively provoking you. However, emotional responses often lead to regret or escalation, deepening the cycle of conflict and giving toxic individuals the upper hand. By exercising patience, you give yourself time to breathe, reflect, and decide how, or if, you want to respond. This intentional pause not only safeguards your peace of mind, but also communicates a quiet strength and confidence that can disarm even the most provocative behavior. Patience as a discipline helps you separate what truly matters from fleeting provocations, ensuring that you act with purpose rather than out of impulse. Similarly, silence is a powerful and often misunderstood strategy. It is not a sign of avoidance or weakness, but rather an assertion of restraint and emotional intelligence. Choosing silence doesn't mean ignoring the toxic individual or dismissing the issue. Instead, it reflects a conscious decision to refuse engagement on their terms. Toxic people thrive on escalating situations, but silence forces them to confront their behavior without your participation. It can be more telling than any words you might offer, as it denies them the satisfaction of provoking you and shifts the dynamics of the interaction entirely. Epictetus wisely said, "It is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This insight captures the essence of silence as a means of asserting control, demonstrating that their attempts to unsettle you have no effect. In the fast-paced world we live in today, where quick responses are often expected in conversations, emails, and social media exchanges, the virtues of patience and silence may seem counterintuitive. Modern Stoicism, however, offers a refreshing perspective, reminding us that slowing down and responding thoughtfully is not only wise but also deeply empowering. Toxic individuals frequently exploit our reflexive tendencies to react quickly, knowing that impulsive responses often result in heightened conflict. By cultivating patience and silence, you create a protective buffer between their actions and your emotions, allowing you to preserve your energy for the pursuits that truly matter, your personal goals, meaningful relationships, and inner growth, rather than squandering it on fruitless confrontations. If you find yourself struggling with patience in difficult moments, remember that silence is a deliberate choice and a statement of strength. It communicates to others and to yourself that your peace is non-negotiable and cannot be easily disrupted. Over time, practicing patience and silence can transform your interactions with toxic individuals, making them less stressful and more manageable. Interestingly, you may even notice that their behavior begins to change as they realize they can no longer provoke you in the ways they once did. Whether their transformation is intentional or incidental, it's a testament to the quiet power of your restraint. This approach aligns seamlessly with the principles of modern Stoicism, which emphasize control over your internal state, while accepting the uncontrollable nature of external circumstances. By choosing patience and silence, you assert your emotional independence and cultivate the strength to navigate even the most challenging situations. This discipline allows you to reclaim your peace and focus on what truly matters, proving that real power lies not in dominating others but in mastering your own mind. Number 3. Focus on self-growth and mastery. One of the most practical and empowering Stoic secrets for dealing with toxic people is to focus on your own self-growth and mastery. This principle lies at the heart of Stoicism, the idea that we cannot control others, only ourselves, our thoughts, actions, and emotions. Toxic people often try to provoke, manipulate, or drain you, but when you are deeply committed to personal growth, their influence over you diminishes significantly. Think about it. When you know your worth and are actively striving to become a better version of yourself, the opinions and negativity of others lose their sting. Their attempts to undermine you feel less personal and more like background noise. Self-mastery in this context means building resilience and learning to respond to challenges calmly and intentionally rather than reacting impulsively. This doesn't just apply to emotional control, but extends to intellectual and spiritual growth. Imagine approaching toxic behavior with a mindset that transforms the situation into an opportunity to learn about yourself. This shift can be incredibly liberating. Take the story of Aaron, for instance. He worked tirelessly to earn a promotion, but his colleague, known for spreading negativity, constantly criticized him and tried to sabotage his progress. Initially, Aaron felt anger and frustration bubbling up every time he interacted with this person. However, instead of fixating on his colleague's toxic behavior, Aaron decided to focus inward. He doubled down on his own growth, enrolling in leadership courses, practicing mindfulness to manage his emotions, and reminding himself of his goals. Over time, Aaron found that his colleague's actions no longer affected him in the same way. In fact, Aaron began viewing these interactions as tests of his patience and emotional strength, challenges that made him more resilient. Eventually, his hard work paid off, and he earned the promotion, proving to himself that focusing on self-mastery is far more powerful than engaging in negativity. The Stoics often viewed life's challenges, including dealing with difficult people, as opportunities for self-improvement. Marcus Aurelius famously wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Toxic people are just one of many external forces we cannot control, but we always have the power to choose our response. Have you ever considered how much energy we waste dwelling on the actions of others instead of investing it in our own development? By redirecting that energy toward your own growth, whether it's learning a new skill, practicing gratitude, or strengthening your emotional balance, you not only protect yourself from negativity but also become someone who radiates strength and confidence. Toxic behavior loses its power when it encounters someone unshaken by external drama. Focusing on self-growth also means adopting a growth mindset. The belief that every challenge, including dealing with toxic people, is an opportunity to learn and grow. This mindset allows you to see beyond the frustration of the moment and instead ask, what can I take away from this experience? How can I use this to build resilience? By reframing the situation, you shift from being a victim of toxicity to being an active participant in your own improvement. The process may not be easy, but it is deeply rewarding. Each time you overcome an obstacle, you strengthen your ability to face the next one with even greater composure and wisdom. The more you focus on your growth, the more you'll find yourself rising above the petty behavior of others and setting a powerful example for those around you. What's the takeaway? The most effective way to handle toxic people is not to change them, but to work on changing yourself. Invest in building resilience, pursuing knowledge, and finding emotional balance. When you focus on self-mastery, you gain the confidence and clarity to navigate even the most challenging relationships without losing your sense of self. Toxic people thrive on chaos, but your growth is your shield. It fortifies you against their attempts to undermine you. Remember, the Stoic path is about cultivating an inner strength that no one can take away from you. So the next time you encounter a toxic person, ask yourself, how can I grow from this? How can I use this moment to become stronger, wiser, and more grounded? By embracing this Stoic secret, you not only protect your peace but also pave the way for becoming the best version of yourself, unaffected by the negativity of others. Dealing with toxic people isn't about changing them. It's about reclaiming your peace and protecting your energy. While you can't control their actions, you have the power to control your responses and set boundaries that empower you. Toxic people may always exist, but by mastering the Stoic principles of self-control, focus, and resilience, You can rise above their negativity and keep moving toward the life you deserve. Your energy is precious. Save it for chasing your dreams, achieving your goals, and living with purpose. Don't let anyone's toxicity hold you back. Stay grounded, choose your peace, and remember, you're stronger than the chaos they try to create. If this video gave you a new perspective or practical tips, leave a comment below and share how you deal with toxic people. And if you found this helpful, please like the video, share it with others, and subscribe to Stoic in Your Life. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss our upcoming videos packed with wisdom and strategies to help you live with strength and clarity. See you in the next one. Stay strong and claim your power.